All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about the TaylorMade P790 irons. Now, these clubs get a ton of hype, but we're going to look at them through a very specific lens. Could these sleek, high-performance irons actually be a secret weapon for senior golfers? You know, there's this common idea in golf that as we get a little older, we're supposed to switch to those big, chunky, game improvement clubs. But the P790, well, it's known as a player's distance iron. That usually means it's for the better golfers out there. So the big question is, does it really have a place in a senior's bag? Let's find out.
I mean, just look at this thing. The first thing that hits you is that it just looks fast, right? It's got that clean, modern, powerful design. But for a lot of us, that awesome look immediately brings up a question. Okay, a club that looks this good, is it actually going to be forgiving enough for my swing? And that, right there, leads us perfectly into our first big topic: confidence. Seriously, how a club looks and feels in your hands before you even take it back, that has a huge psychological impact on your game. It really is about more than just the tech inside. So let's kind of break this down. On the left, you've got the whole idea behind the P790. It's sleek, it's refined, it looks like a high-performance tool. Then on the right, you have your more traditional game improvement iron, which, let's be honest, can look a bit bulky. Now for some golfers, that bulk feels safe. But for others, putting a sophisticated-looking club like the P790 behind the ball gives them a massive mental boost.
And this view right here, looking down at the ball, really drives the point home. What you're seeing is the top line. The P790 has a pretty thin top line, which a lot of golfers just love the look of. But it's not so thin that it's scary to hit. It really finds that sweet spot. It doesn't look like you're trying to hit the ball with a shovel, but you still feel like there's some serious help packed in there.
And beyond just the looks, there's the feel. Inside that hollow club head, TaylorMade injects this stuff called speed foam air. Think of it as a really light, soft foam that dampens all the harsh vibrations. So what does that mean for you? It means that even on your mishits, the feedback isn't jarring or painful. You still get this really satisfying, soft, yet powerful feeling at impact, which honestly just makes the game more enjoyable.
Okay, now let's get under the hood and talk about the real performance engine of this club. We're going to focus on the two things that, for a lot of senior players, move the needle the most: getting some of that lost distance back and having a whole lot more forgiveness for those less than perfect strikes. So a huge piece of this engine is something they call the through slot speed pocket. All it is really is a channel cut into the bottom of the club. The best way to think about it is like a little trampoline for the lower part of the club face. Its entire job is to let that face flex and spring back at impact. So, how does that actually help you on the course? Well, think about one of the most common misses out there, especially when swing speed starts to drop: the thin shot. When you catch it low on the face, that speed pocket kicks in, letting the face flex and protecting your ball speed, so you don't get that massive penalty in distance. That shot that used to come up way short in a bunker might just roll onto the front of the green now. That's a huge deal.
The other secret ingredient is tucked away inside the club head. TaylorMade puts a really dense tungsten weight way down low. And by putting all that weight at the bottom, they effectively lower the club's center of gravity. A lower center of gravity just makes it way easier to launch the ball high up into the air. And why is a high launch so important? Well, for a player with a moderate swing speed, getting the ball up is everything. It directly translates to more carry distance. But maybe even more importantly, it means the ball comes down at a steeper angle. That leads to softer landings, which means your approach shots actually stop on the green instead of skipping right over the back.
So when you put it all together, the hollow body, the foam, the speed pocket, you get a sweet spot that is way more generous than the club's sleek look would have you believe. Those shots you hit a little off the toe or the heel, the ones that used to be total disasters, now they hold their line and distance so much better. That's called consistency, my friends, and that's an absolute game changer.
Okay, so we've established they're long and they're forgiving, but can you actually control them? This is a huge concern for anyone thinking about moving to a distance iron. So let's talk about playability and versatility. A lot of that control starts right here with the sole of the club. The P790 is designed to just glide smoothly through the turf. It has just enough bounce to keep the club from digging in, even if you catch it a little heavy. And that helps you maintain your club head speed right through impact, which is the key to consistent shots.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It really captures the whole mindset these irons encourage. You don't have to swing out of your shoes to make them work. In fact, it's the opposite. They reward a smooth, controlled tempo. For senior golfers, that's just fantastic news. It's all about letting the technology do the heavy lifting, not trying to force it. All right, so we've talked about the confidence factor, the tech, the control. Let's pull it all together and finally answer the big question. Who exactly in the senior golf world should be taking a serious look at the P790?
This chart breaks it down really well into 3 main groups. First, you've got the mid-handicapper, the player who's looking for more distance but doesn't want to give up that nice, solid feel. Then there's the former low-handicapper, who still makes a decent swing but could really use some of that modern forgiveness. And finally, you have the player who's been using those super game improvement irons and is just ready for a more refined club that still offers a ton of help. Now, let's also be really honest about who this club is probably not for. If you're a high handicapper and you really struggle to make consistent contact with the ball, there are other irons out there with even wider soles and more offset that are truly built for maximum, no questions asked forgiveness. The P790 is forgiving, for sure, but it's not the most forgiving club on the market. And this part is so important. Please don't skip it. Customization is everything. The club head is just one piece of the puzzle. Getting fit for the right shaft is absolutely critical. For a lot of seniors, moving to a lighter, more flexible graphite shaft can be a total game changer, cutting down on vibration and just making you less tired. And something as simple as the right grip size can help you relax your hands and make a better swing.
So, when it's all said and done, a proper fitting is what takes a great set of irons and turns them into the absolute perfect set for your swing. It's a step you really shouldn't skip.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. We always talk about our equipment in terms of distance and forgiveness. But maybe the bigger question we should be asking is this. When you set your club down behind the ball, does it inspire you? Is it possible your equipment is actually holding back your confidence? It's definitely something worth thinking about.